Welcome to The Word. I'm Prim Saripapat. Joining me is Jemele Hill here in Bristol. Also joining us from LA is Shelly Smith. Well, NFL training camps are underway, and today we're talking about quarterbacks and pressure. Jemele, we're getting straight to it. Which quarterback faces the most pressure heading into the 2012 season?
I think it's Tony Romo. Now, there's already a lot of pressure that comes with any quarterback that wears that good old Dallas scar, but for him especially, one playoff win in his career, and it just feels like with the Cowboys, we're constantly having the same conversation. Why can't this team get over the hump? Now, I'll admit, Tony Romo, I don't think he was their issue last year. I think he had a Pro Bowl-esque season. However, what is staining people's memories is how he gave away that Jets game, how he gave away that Lions game. And I just think because of his playoff blunders that this is a guy that really has to prove he's capable of winning in the postseason in Dallas.
He's been with the Cowboys since 2003. Since then, they have only won 2 division titles. Shelly, who has the most pressure on them, quarterback-wise?
I'm going to pick Mark Sanchez because backing him up is the most popular, best loved, probably backup, perhaps most overrated quarterback in the entire world. As soon as Sanchez slips, and he will, they are going to be clamoring for Tim Tebow. Now, Rex Ryan's smart. He's going to find a way to get Tebow in the game. He's going to play special teams. He's going to put him in the Wildcat. They're going to find a position for him. But as soon as Sanchez slips, as soon as he throws one pick, they're going to be screaming, just as they were in Denver, for Tebow, Tebow, Tebow. And, then see what happens. But I think Mark Sanchez understands this. He's been out here all summer working out. He had Jets West, which was like Fort Knox. Nobody could ever see what was going on. But he's taking it very seriously. But there's a lot of pressure on him. But he understands that. He had pressure at USC, too. He backed up Matt Leinart, Matt Castle, and as a freshman, and then worked his way into the lineup. So he knows what he's facing. But so does Tim Tebow.
Well, a lot of that pressure definitely comes from the New York media. Now, another market where the media is definitely pretty tough to handle is Philadelphia. Now, Michael Vick recently told Comcast Sportsnet, when I look at our football team and what we have on paper, I think about when I was growing up and the great San Francisco 49er teams, the great Green Packer teams, and the great Dallas Cowboy teams, and how they just position themselves to compete and be one of the best teams out there. I think we have a chance to be that. I think we have a chance to develop a dynasty. Now, ever since Vick said the word dynasty, the media has definitely been swarming him and the Eagles. So did this change the landscape of the NFL and place more pressure on the Eagles? Jemele, we'll go with you first.
Yeah, I think it definitely did. They already had some assumed pressure. Look, didn't they learn their lesson from last season?
The dream team.
When backup Vince Young started talking the dream team stuff, and next thing you know, everybody ran with it, and that became an albatross for this team all season. So not only do you have Michael Vick uttering the words dynasty, you have Andy Reid backing him up, then LaShawn McCoy ups the stakes, and he says that not only are they a dynasty, but they should have been in the running for the last 2 championships. Memo to the Eagles: be quiet, okay? Prove it on the field. We're tired of hearing you talk. You need to prove something before you start talking about a dynasty.
You know who has a really good example of that? The New England Patriots. All they do is just play. They don't talk ever. Shelly, more pressure on the Eagles just because he said the word dynasty?
Well, I just want to say all 3 of us should have been in the running for the Academy Award this year as well. That was as likely that we were going to win that. I don't have any problem with it. We love to rip athletes for saying something that's honest and what they believe, and we chide them when they give us cliches. So I don't have any kind of problem with it. What is he supposed to say? I think we're going to be mediocre. We have, we're not a great organization. I think we have no chance. I think it's fun. It's great debate. But you're right, Jemele. It does put a lot more attention on that team. But, I'm not sure that they don't know how to understand that in Philadelphia. I think they've been through those, like you said, things before.
Well, nothing wrong with being a little positive, and I think this is an Emmy Award-winning segment right here. That's like the Michael Vick out of me. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of The Word. A big thanks to Shelly Smith for joining us from California. You can keep the discussion going on Twitter. Just search hashtag ESPNW The Word and give us your opinion because your word counts. For Shelly Smith and Jemele Hill, I'm Prim Saripapat. We'll see you guys next time.